first step, but I think this first step of this new saga, DPI, is really a long saga. And now we are playing a new chapter of this saga. We are opening a new chapter. Who is coming? Samuel Kaboué.
Hello.
There is a little bit.
Hello.
Hello, Samuel Kabua. This is Henrietta Davis Ray from Jamaica.
How are you, Henrietta?
How are you?
I'm quite good. And you?
I am good. And we are here today on this great day.
That is great.
Yes.
Hello, Elizabeth.
It's quite late here in Kenya.
Silvana.
What's the time there?
I totally agree.
Hi, Diane. Didn't see you for
Hi,
long.
Wilfredo from Latin America.
I think Jan, you are Jan Jerriger.
I'm Diane Derecho. Hi, everybody.
This is why we need this great DPI. We all now do globe trotting. We are all over the globe. But
Oh, yeah.
that's a good thing for us as persons with disabilities. There are no barriers that can keep us back.
Yes. Hi, Henrietta. Haven't seen you for years, too. You're looking good.
We have a very difficult situation in Lebanon. There are around between 800, 1,000 persons who became disabled.
We have to start now. Kambo Kamara is trying to be connected, but he has some connection problem. I'm very first happy to see all these people here, very famous people from all over the world, and it's really a good thing with the fundator, with new people and with young people, and it's really interesting and good and encouraging for the future. So, Trevor, do you want to say something?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much, Jean-Luc.
Please.
It's a pleasure to co-host this event. Some of you might know, you might not know, but this has been going on for quite some time. This unification process. It started really. It really kicked off on the 14th of June 2018 when we met in New York. The two DPIs got together, and we met and we reached an agreement on the formation of a joint subcommittee to get this whole process started. And that joint subcommittee has been meeting. I think we've now met almost 15 times since June, and we've got a lot of work done. And a little bit later on, I'll share with you some of the things that that both boards of DPI now have reached agreements on. One of those is exactly what we're talking about today: the unification of DPI. And it was in 2018 when Jean-Luc and I made a joint presentation to the UN Conference of State Parties. And I've got a nice photo that I'll show you a little bit later on. But it's been really an exciting process. It's not finished yet, obviously, but this is our chance to announce to the world that there's been four of us: myself, Jean-Luc, Mia Moto from Japan, and also Mohammed Ali Lufti from Lebanon. The four of us have represented everyone in DPI to get to this stage where we can announce to all of you and the world that we are number one on track to become a united, unified DPI. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. And it will be the task of our two co-chair, Dina and Henrietta, at the end of this meeting. So at first, I would like to introduce Senator Aita Yashiro, who can tell us how DPI starts, how this fantastic saga starts 40 years ago now, a bit less than 40 years, but I will be happy to hear what Senator Aita Yashiro has to say. Thank you. Please take the floor, Aita.
はい。
Good morning.
皆さんおはようございます。日本時間は午前5時です。コロナ騒動でストレスがいっぱいです。今日は皆さんの前で DPI 設立の意義について、その当時の生き証人としてお話しできることを大変嬉しく思います。私は八代瑛太でございます。
Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm interpreter Yuki Nakamura. Hi, good morning from Tokyo, everybody. Now Japan is 5 a.m. in the morning. But today, I'm so excited to be here to speak about DPI's foundation and its significance as a real-time witness. Now we are all in the middle of a stressful time of COVID-19 pandemic. Hope everybody stays safe. My name is Eita Yashiro.
私は健康な頃、テレビでニュースキャスターなどをしておりましたが、1973年にステージから転落しまして、そして脊髄を損傷、今車椅子生活となります。47年になります。47年。
So when I was an able-bodied person, I used to be a newscaster and TV personality in Japan. In 1973, I accidentally fell from the stage and injured my spinal cord. Since that day, I have been wheelchair user.
そして障害を負ってみて、世の中が健常者中心であり、障害を持つことがいかに大変かをして、なんとかそれで解決しようと、国会議員になるためチャレンジして当選して、1977年から28年間、日本の障害者福祉議員として活動してまいりました。
So after I became persons with disabilities, I realized our society was built only for convenience of non-disabled persons. And I became to know how difficult for persons with disabilities living in such inaccessible society. I sincerely wished to resolve those issues and difficulties by Japanese politics and decided to run for upper house election in 1977. I successfully won the election and became the member of the Diet. And since 1977, for 28 consecutive years, I served my term to improve welfare measures of persons with disabilities in Japan.
今83歳ですが、元気いっぱい福祉の語り部として国の内外、特に途上国の若い障害を持つ人たちにインスピレーションを与えるために走り回っております。
So now I'm 83 years old and I'm healthy and very energetic. I still travel many countries as advocate of disability movement and keep inspiring the young generation of persons with disabilities.
Okay, thank you, Senator Rita. Thank you a lot for this testimony, and thank you a lot for all you have done for starting this fantastic organization. We can show the video now, the first video about the first start of DPI. The Japanese DPI Japan prepared a short video on this.
1981年11月30日、今まさに障害者インターナショナル第1回世界会議がここに実現されたのです。世界で初めて障害者の国際的連合体が組織として動き出すのです。この組織の名前は英語で Disabled People's International といい、その頭文字を取って DPI と呼びます。今日からの5日間、50数カ国400人以上の参加者によって熱い討論が開始されます。この DPI の哲学は、障害者を含めた全ての市民が平等な権利を持ち、平等な機会に恵まれ、完全な社会活動に参加することができ、それと同時に平等な責任を持つということです。そのため、障害者自身が立ち上がり、自らの声を世界に向けて訴えていくことです。この思想をもとに DPI の目標が作られました。それは情報交換の場を作ること、既存のプログラムや法律を見直し変更の運動をすること、国際的レベルで障害者のために発言すること、障害者組織の設立を促すこと、障害者に影響を及ぼす計画づくりのパートナーとして参加すること、そして特に発展途上国に目を留め世界的団結を進めること、このような目的に沿って DPI は国連や他の国際組織に働きかけて 世界中の障害者の地位及び生活の向上を目指して運動していくのです。DPI がその産声を上げたのは、1980年6月、カナダのウィニペグで開催された国際障害者リハビリテーション協会の第14回世界会議の場においてでした。この理事会で、参加者の半数を障害者自身とすべきではないかという提案が出されましたが、それが否決されてしまったのです。世界には障害者問題を扱う団体がいくつも存在しています。しかしそれらは障害別に分かれていたり、また医師や学者などの専門家の主導のもとに運営がなされている場合が多いのです。かくして参加していた障害者の間から、もはや専門家だけに任せるのではなく、障害者自身による真の社会創造のために自分たちの権利を主張していく組織が必要であるという叫びが湧き起こったのです。そしてその叫びは、障害者の世界連合を結成すること、地球上の全ての地域をカバーする運営委員会を設けることなどを確認し合ったのです。そしてその時、A Voice of Our Own、障害者自身の声がそのキャッチフレーズとして生まれたのです。DPI に何を期待しますか？
世界の平和です。この地球上でいろんなところで争いが起きています。そしてその争いの後に何が残るでしょう。環境が破壊され、障害者が増えていきます。これからの戦争はやるべきではありません。平和です。私たちは障害を持った仲間たちと共に世界に平和を訴えます。
総理、申し訳なかった。ちょっとビデオが故障しました。はい。
I'm sorry because our Japan side internet is all of a sudden it's shut down, so we continue. Sorry, please accept our apology.
はい。今、ビデオを見ましたけども、懐かしく思いました。当時私は40歳でした。若かったね。
So I was very much excited to watch all the video. So I was very young, only 43 years old.
はい。車椅生活の中で忘れられない思い出は何といっても、この我ら自身の声、ボイスオブアワーオンの世界組織の結成への熱い熱い思いでございました。
So in the course of 47 years of my life as being disabled person, the most unforgettable memory, of course, is the formation of DPI to realize the voice, our voice of our own.
それまで1970年頃までの障害者福祉は、障害当事者ではなく専門家に自らを委ね、ひたすらやっていただく、面倒を見ていただくと言われるままに、社会復帰訓練に汗を流すスタイルであり、不法が中心で当事者の声は二の次でもあったと思います。
So before the formation of DPI in around 1970s, welfare of persons with disabilities were mainly sustained by non-disabled medical professionals. We only followed the advice and support of those professionals, and we pushed ourselves hard to go through the rehabilitation to overcome our disability, to return to normal life. Welfare and rehabilitation at that time were conducted for persons with disabilities. However, our own voices were deprived and disrespected.
1975年に国連で障害者の権利宣言が採択されて、それからアメリカの障害者の自立運動が始まり、だんだん障害者が今までの抑圧から脱出しようという運動が世界中で盛んになってきました。
So gradually, our movement became flourished, and in many places, many of proactive disability movement actually flourished in many countries.
そんな折、1980年、カナダのウニペグで世界リハビリテーション総会が開催されまして、各地域からオブザーバーが参加して、今もご紹介があったように、会議が大荒れになったという経過があります。
So during those times, in June 1980s, RI World Congress was held in Winnipeg, Canada. As observer status, many colleagues of persons with disabilities from all over the world joined this Congress and made their own remarks regarding their rehabilitation issues with medical rehabilitations. But actually, our voices were not much heard, and our leaders of persons with disabilities felt great isolation and anger, and Winnipeg RI Congress provoked backlash from persons with disabilities, and the meeting was fallen apart.
それまでの RI 総会というのは、障害者問題の専門家による会議であり、当事者の声はなかなか聞き入れてはもらえませんでした。厳しく言えば、障害者外しの総会でもあったへの反発で、この会議が大荒れになったわけです。
So previously, our disability issues were only discussed among rehabilitation professionals, and RI is the organization consisting of medical professionals. So we made our best to interfere in the decision making, but in many cases, our opinions and voices were not much heard. So this was the background that why actually we provoked and backlash from persons with disability.
RI は障害当事者と共に組織を変えていこうという提案が届かずですね、ついにこれはダメだと、我々の声が専門家には届かない、届かないならどうする、それなら障害者当事者の世界組織を結成すべきだろうということになりまして、1981年の障害者年をきっかけに世界組織への運動が始まったと、こういうことになります。
So our voices to try to reform RI could not reach to the management side, and it failed. And we wondered how we could change this situation in the best way to make our voice heard. And we decided why not we should establish our own new organization of persons with disabilities, separated from RI. And to commemorate the UN Year of Persons with Disabilities in 1981, we finally launched our world organization called DPI.
国連が承認する障害者関係 NGO は唯一 RI だけでありましたので、当事者団体として国連に認めさせるために頑張ろうということになりました。
So at that time, UN only recognized RI as an official NGO to work for persons with disabilities. So what we did first is to make UN recognize our new organization, DPI, as official NGO of persons with disabilities.
国連が決めた国際障害者年1981年、1983年から10年間の国際障害者年週間、これをスタートする前に結成をしようということで、世界の情熱が固まって、その声が寄せられて、障害種別を超えた障害者の完全参加と平等を成し遂げるための団体、DPI が誕生するんです。そしてシンガポールで、これはもう最も人口が多いアジア地区でございますので、DPI 世界会議結成大会ということがさっきのビデオにあったように、こう広まっていったわけですね。
So timing was exactly right, and the UN International Year of Persons with Disabilities was just proclaimed in 1981, and the United Nations and UN Decade of Persons with Disabilities 1981 to 1990 followed. So quickly, we decided to move forward this momentum to accelerate the preparation of DPI formation. Disabled People International, DPI, was officially established as a global cross-disability network to promote human rights of persons with disabilities through full and equal participation of all opportunities and development. In November 1981, the first DPI World Congress was organized in Singapore, where the city is located in Asian region, where has the largest number of population of persons with disabilities.
DPI はこの地球を5つのブロックに分けました。
In this first Congress, DPI divided the world into 5 regions.
今もそうかな？
I think it's the same, right?
アジア太平洋地域、ヨーロッパ、アフリカ、北アメリカ、南アメリカの各地域による5ブロックから成り立っています。そしてシンガポールには500人からの障害者が世界中から集まりました。
Asian Pacific region, European region, Africa, North America, South America, and from each region, more than 500 representatives of persons with disabilities gathered to attend this Singapore Congress.
国連承認の証として国連人権委員会をはじめ各国連機関からの出席もあって熱い DPI 結成総会の幕が開いたということです。
So as UN recognized organization, there were many distinguished guests from international organizations, namely UN Human Rights Commission and other relevant international UN body joined in this meeting. We joyfully celebrated official start of DPI.
会議は5日間でしたが、不眠不休の思いでゼロからの出発のために、規約、人権、予算、今後の活動方針など、会議は踊るそのものでありました。
So during 5 consecutive days of Congress, we discussed day and night many agendas such as DPI constitution, board members selection, budget, future activities. This Singapore meeting was absolutely filled with joy and happiness and the excitement of people with disabilities.
初代世界議長には最も障害者人口の多いアジア太平洋からということになって、シンガポールの視覚障害者ロン・チャンドレー氏が選ばれ、副会長にはカナダのヘンリー・エンズ、私は初代のアジア太平洋の議長になりました。
So as first DPI chairperson, Mr. Ron Chandler Dudley was elected, and Mr. Henry Enns, Canada, elected as a deputy chairperson. And I myself was honored to be appointed as the first chairperson of DPI Asian Pacific region.
4年に1回の世界総会、ブロック総会、2年ごとの世界評議会、ブロック評議会と選ばれた役員の過酷なまでのスケジュールが始まって、すべての障害者が参加する国際機関としての産声を上げたということになります。
So in every 4 years, the DPI World Congress was organized, and other series of meetings were annually held, such regional meeting and World Council and regional council meeting. Everybody worked very hard and tried their best to sustain the newly established organization with all team efforts.
1981年から16年にわたって私はアジア太平洋議長を務め、各国国々を回りながら多くの障害者とともにボイスオブアワーオンのもと、障害者の声をまとめながらそれぞれの国に提言し、意見を述べ、声を届けてきました。私自身、障害者の声を届ける連絡係のような役割を担ってきました。
So since 1981, for the consecutive 16 years, I served as a chairperson of DPI Asian Pacific region and traveled in many countries of this region and always tried to convey the spirits of voice of our own and listen to the voices of persons with disabilities, especially from developing countries. During my time of Asian Pacific Regional Chair, I played the role to connect those minority voices to their country's high government level and gave strong impact to government stakeholders.
そしてあれから40年経つわけですけれども、この DPI 創創期の多くの仲間がこの世を去りました。悲しいことです。
So from that day already 40 years passed. I was overwhelmed by grief each time I've heard the passing of many first generation of great world leaders and my dear colleagues of DPI.
初代議長のシンガポールのロン、2代目議長のカナダのヘンリー・エンズ、アメリカの自立運動のエド・ロバーツやマイケル・ウィンター、スウェーデンの福祉大臣までやった視覚障害者ベントリー・クエスト、フィンランドのカレ・コンコラ、タイの上院議員をやったミスター・ナロンなどの多くの仲間が天に召されてしまいました。
So Mr. Ron Chandler, the first DPI chairperson, and Mr. Henry Enns, second chairperson of DPI, Mr. Ed Roberts, founder of Independent Living Movement, and Michael Winter, great advocate of disability movement, the former minister from Social Security, Ben Lindqvist, Sweden, and Mr. Konkora, Finland, Mr. Nalong, the former senator from Thailand. All my dear friends, they are now resting in peace.
口角青を飛ばして激しく障害者の明日を語り合った彼らの熱い顔が今も浮かんできます。そして今、2020年、私たちの国連障害者権利条約が2016年に採択されて、この条約は私たちの声を大いに反映した素晴らしい条約です。先輩たちが頑張って訴えきた権利条約という贈り物を私たちは次世代に届けられるということ、素晴らしい成果だと思っております。
So I remember their great passion and strong commitment and heated discussion we always exchanged. We used to dream our future together. And finally, here we are in 2020. We came this far, and 2016 CRPD adaptation by United Nations is definitely one of the greatest achievements ever we made in our disability movement history. In order to draft this convention, our great senior leaders worked very hard for their lives. We are so proud of this convention that fully reflected our voices of persons with disabilities, and also proud to bring this gift for next generation of persons with or without disabilities.
世界人口72億の 10% が障害者と言われています。7億人もの障害者が特にこの途上国を中心に障害者の多くが今日も苦しみ、悩み、そして明日への希望を抱きながら生き続けているんです。
10% of world population, 700 millions of persons with disabilities live in this globe, and majority of them are still living with poverty and challenges, especially in developing countries. And they strive every day for searching better future. This is reality.
現実の中で我ら自身の声は永遠の声として発し続けて届けていかなければなりません。私たちはまだまだ諦めてはいけません。私たちはまだまだ前に進まないといけません。
In this right moment, we should remember our founding philosophy, voice of our own, is eternal vision and mission we should always respect, and we shouldn't give up our movement.
それは DPI こそが先頭に立って前に進むためにメンバー全員が一つになって団結して協力していかないといけません。それが期待される DPI の役割、若いリーダーの皆さんの役割だと思います。最後にグッドラックと言って DPI の皆さんにエールを送りたいと思います。私はもうかなり年になりました。
We shall move forward with full commitment, and now I really expect all DPI members and families work together with great unification and solidarity. I very much expect this role will be played respectively by current young leaders with disabilities and members of DPI, and hope DPI could lead our movement as a front runner. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I would conclude my speech by sending my best wishes and good luck for DPI future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hey.
Thank you, Senator Alito. It's really good and refreshing to hear you all that from you and from other. I think everybody has some feeling in themselves. It's really a vibrant message. For the suite, Tambo Kamara couldn't connect. I propose that we can go directly to the next video, which presents another key person of the DPI, Mr. Henry Hens. I think we can now hear the video, the short video.
In Vancouver, both DPI and Henry Hens received America's President's Award for Distinguished Service to Humanity.
Henry Hens has held the line for the principles of equality, independence, and empowerment. Henry Hens and each one of you have made DPI the preeminent organization in the world of, for, and by people with disabilities. And so, colleagues, I say, viva DPI, support DPI, equality now, empowerment now, solidarity forever. Now, on behalf of President George Bush, President of the United States, it is my privilege to present two Distinguished Service Awards of the President of the United States, one to the members of Disabled People International and one personally to Henry Hens.
I don't know how often this award is being awarded outside of the United States, but I understand I'm the first Canadian to receive this award. Just informed me that I am the first person outside of the United States, so I guess it makes it all the more special. Very often, it is the people that come to this conference. It is the people that have the visibility at the UN. It is the people that gain international recognition that are seen as the heroes of the movement. And that is not true. The real heroes are the grassroots people who are struggling every day in their life in order just to exist where there is starvation, where there's poverty, where there's hunger, where disabled people have no services. Those are the heroes of the movement. who are struggling not only on their own behalf, but on behalf of other disabled people in their countries, in the rural areas of Zimbabwe, in the rural areas of Tanzania, in the rural areas of Pakistan. These are the real heroes of disabled people, and these are the heroes that the world does not know anything about. And it is these people that are fighting against this struggle of oppression. It is these people that are raising their voice against war and armed conflict, which is destroying and disabling so many disabled people. It is these people that are forming the basis of creating a better future and a better world, not only for disabled people, but for all humanity.
We came from the past, and now we are going to enter in the future, in the present and in the future. I would like to introduce Honorable Co-Chair Dina Radke and Henrietta. And now it's the place for women. Thank you, Henrietta. Thank you, Dina. I give you the floor.
Oh, look, I think this was really very moving to see the beginning of DPI, to see Ron and Henry and Ed. Really, it was very emotional for me. And also, we really made a lot of progress with the disability movement. We still have the same challenges. And I think this time, this COVID-19 time is really very challenging, and we are still far from being equal. We are far from having reached our human rights, and we still have to struggle. And I think this COVID-19 time will be a backlash for many. We will have more extreme poverty. We will have hunger. We will have a worldwide recession. And well, we have to fight to get human rights for everybody. We have to fight that vaccine, if we have a vaccine, that the vaccine is there for everybody in the world, that it is distributed equally among all countries. And I think we, in the unification process, I think this is a great moment tonight for us, for DPI, for unification, for networking, for putting our strengths together to fight all these challenges. Well, yes, and the senator said at the beginning, we also fought for peace, and what we need is still peace. So, well, yes, Henrietta, please tell me what you think. It was so great to see you again.
Dana. Friends, colleagues, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we gather today through this virtual platform as we are celebrating together the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. On this occasion, we are here to also mark another no less important and historical event. This is an event of bringing a family together again. It is our beloved Family of Disabled Peoples International, the world's first cross-disability organization. We at DPI are a family of persons with disabilities who come from all over the world with diverse backgrounds. the largest global grassroots organization of persons with disabilities. DPI is a family of disabled women and men, persons with all types of disabilities from both global north and global south, persons with disabilities from developed and developing countries, persons with disabilities from high, middle, and low income communities. And like any other family, whether personal or rather collective, DPI has enjoyed great moments of great victories and successes, but at the same time has also endured moments of great sorrows. Nevertheless, we at DPI are gathering here today to show the world that we continue to remain a strong family who learns from its past in order to build better for its future. We come together as one family in solidarity to ensure that DPI would never lose its position as a global and leading organization of persons with disabilities. The world indeed witnesses that our beloved organization, DPI, since its outset, which is exactly 4 decades ago, has truly inspired many others, whether individuals or organizations on many levels and for many missions. Since its outset in 1981, DPI has vowed to lead our global disability community towards ensuring that every single person with disability must and would enjoy his or her right as a full citizen in this world and in every single country. And ever since DPI has invented, owned, and carried that slogan of honor and dignity, nothing about us without us. Over the years, DPI has been strived alongside with its partners, friends, associates to ensure full respect, full recognition, and full inclusion of persons with disabilities by their country governments and within their communities. From the very beginning, DPI has wholeheartedly recognized in its agenda the necessity of embracing its grassroots operations. It has sincerely believed that no inclusion can be achieved without ensuring that true representation of grassroots group of persons with disabilities. However, to reach that goal, tremendous work ought to be done and clear mandate ought to be commissioned. With sincere determination and strong efforts, DPI therefore set forth its priorities for establishing and promoting persons with disabilities' right to fulfill inclusion and equal access to opportunities of empowerment, leadership, and participation. The 4 decades of collective effort and hard work of DPI members in Africa with the both French and English sub-region, Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, North America and the Caribbean, Middle East, North Africa, Central Asia have borne its fruits indeed. Our organization has shown the world the model of real commitment and pioneering recognition of equality between our fellow women and men with disabilities. With its persistence in mainstreaming the practice of gender balance, our sisters with disabilities have found a space of respect, recognition, and most importantly, leadership. with consecutive election of women with disabilities to the position of global chair and board members, our beloved organization has proven to the world the tremendous capacity of leadership. It is indeed when DPI was leading alongside with other partnering organizations of persons with disabilities, DPI was headed by a woman with disability, Mrs. Venus Elegant. Today, the top three position of global chair, as well as the two vice chairs, are occupied by women with disabilities from different regions across the world. Many grassroots organizations of persons with disabilities around the world and among DPI members are headed by active disabled women who have been actively leading their communities through different platforms of decision-making and full participation. The second and rather equally important achievement has been the adoption of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities by the United General Assembly in 2006. And the first recognition ever of persons with disability in the United Nations Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development Goals. These achievements were never to be recognized today without the continuous and collective effort of DPI and its partners of other international, regional, and national organizations of persons with disabilities, alongside with developed organizations working in the field promoting the rights of persons with disabilities to inclusion and accessibility. Because of these achievements, our fellow women and men with disabilities, particularly of the Global South, can feel rather empowered against experiences of poverty and exclusion. Because of these achievements, our fellow women and men with disabilities today have the tool to confidently hold their governments and policymakers accountable towards ensuring their inclusion in their country's programs of social and economic development. Today, with both the CRPD and the SDGs, persons with disabilities of all types and diversities can rest assured that they have the ability to hold the whole world accountable for recognizing their equal rights to inclusion, education, enter the mainstream labor market, and enjoy full access to mainstream community-based health care and rehabilitation services. Friends, colleagues, brothers and sisters, we are gathering here today via this virtual platform as the whole world is witnessing an unprecedented pandemic of COVID-19. While we are celebrating our achievements and potential unification as DPI, we cannot but recognize the ongoing struggle of our fellow brothers and sisters with disabilities during this most difficult time. This pandemic has indeed shown us that despite all achievements, persons with disabilities, particularly in the Global South, continue to endure the perpetual practices of stigma, discrimination, and exclusion. The neglect of persons with disabilities, needs and conditions by COVID-19 response effort speaks to the fact that the journey towards ensuring persons with disabilities full inclusion and dignity is still way long ahead of us. This pandemic has shown us, unlike any time before, working in unity is a must to ensure our victory in our battle against any form of neglect and discrimination experienced by persons with disabilities worldwide. Therefore, DPI's serious and sincere effort towards unification and bringing its family together again is so timely. It is about time that DPI would come together again as one organization in order to maintain its legacy and leadership position within the global disability movement. It is about time for DPI to come together again as one organization where unity can enhance and empower efforts of partnership and collaboration among all our organizations of persons with disabilities and on all levels, nationally, regionally, and internationally. It is about time, brothers and sisters, to come again as one family to maintain our goal of nothing about us without us, in order to make leaving no one behind real once and for all. And you can hear my passion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Yeah. It's really encouraging, and it's a warm speech. Tambo Kamara from Africa is just connected from, and he can say some word.
I am founders members of DPI, a world coalition of the people with disability, to Winnipeg in 1980. After the refused to permit people with disability to be members of its committee, and the disabled people present at that event go out, and after 2 days they created their own movement called World Coalition of Disabled Persons. After that, we put in place a committee, steering committee, including two representatives by each sub-region, seven regions. I was one of them from Africa. Joshua Malinga and myself were the representative of Africa. Okay, this is the mission that steering committee give us. We have to mobilize the people with disability in Africa, me for French-speaking countries, and Joshua Malinga for English country. After 1 year and 60 months work, we did a very good work. In example, in West Africa, we mobilized about 8 countries, and you help them to adhere to DPI, to World Council Discord, and to mobilize all the members. We organized a big meeting. I traveled to some countries, for example, in Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire, in Gabon and RCA, Togo, to meet disabled people and give them new ideas about disabled people. They agreed that, and some months after, we met together to Togo, Lomé to Togo, and we created WAFOD, West African Federation of Disabled, and mobilize all people, a lot of people, to attend to next DPI Assembly, General Assembly to Singapore. There were 70 representatives of Africa from 51 delegates come from maybe 50 countries all over the world. We take the we, Samax, we after during the Congress, we have to adopt the good work that steering committee did. We adopt the perfect DPI constitution, the manifest, and plan of action, and the action for disabled people, and elected a new committee for DPI, about 25 members, 5 members by region. For Africa, I was elected as vice president, and Joshua was the treasury of DPI. He's a member of the officers, and other member. Each Africa has 5 sub-regions. Each sub-region has the members. We work together closely and reinforce the ideas of DPI to create and build capacity of people with disability to be citizens of their country, to speak by themselves, to decide by themselves.
So thank you for the speaker. It was very exciting, and I think now for the future, it's really objective to join more fresh and young people, and some of them are here, and I hope we can continue to invite young people and involve young people in that job, and not only for people with disability, but as I said, we can demonstrate that it's really for the world as citizens. Actual challenges like sustainable development, like COVID, like all these difficulties the world face, we can manage. We demonstrate that as DPI, as people with disability, we demonstrate that all days, and we can overcome many, many, many things, many more that we expect at the beginning. So it's really a demonstration. And now we have to pursue this way. Thank you for you to join this meeting. We have so many famous people. I think to Jim, I think to Diane, Steve, many people, Giulio Wilfredo, Pastor Wheelchair. It's really a pleasure to have all you together here at this time now. I think it's really a good day. It's really a good evening for me in France, but a good morning in Japan, a good evening in other parts of the world. It's a good day. Thank you for
Jean-Luc, let me thank you and Carol for organizing this meeting. I think it was really, really great. And I think we need more of these meetings to be better connected and to network better and to fight together for the Convention of Persons with Disabilities, that it is better applied for fighting for the sustainable development goals, that they are more applied, better applied, to leave no one behind, and that the Istanbul Convention against a violation of women is better applied, so that we live in a better world with equal rights and human rights for all, but above all for disabled men and women and girls and boys. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great.
Thank you, Dina.
Thank you, Dina.
I want to express sincere thanks to the organizers of this webinar. DPI is a great organization, and what I see demonstrated here today with all the persons who started in the initial stages. It warms my heart and it tells me that it is time for this organization to become one family and for us to stay that way. That presentation that was done to Henry Hennis in Vancouver, I was there. I was very young, but I was there. I witnessed it. I remember Samuel Kabua coming to Jamaica. I also remember Steve Esty coming to Jamaica. I also remember Joshua Malinga coming to Jamaica. Those were in the formative years of DPI. And so today, I thank you, Jean-Luc, and your team, Trevor Carroll, Mohamed Ali Lofty, for believing in the reunification by organizing your meetings and reporting to your respective boards. And today, this is where we are at. And I am here today for action, not for speech. We need to come together as one family. I thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ariella. Some people are asked to speak, and I will be happy to give them the floor. After that, you can present the motion we have adopted, and we can propose to show the next step. Please, Steve, could you have some quick word? I'm happy because you are a K person in DPI. We are all K person, but you have something to say, please. Steve.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Hi, everybody. I'm so very happy to see so many familiar faces. Thank you, Jean-Luc and Trevor, for organizing this. And thank you, Dinah and Henrietta, for your marvelous talk. It makes me a little bit emotional to see the old pictures of Henry Enns and Justin Dart, and I'm sure it does make you emotional too. I've been able to be part of the DPI meetings that take place at conferences of states parties in New York for the last few years. Jean-Luc has come and some others have come, and they've all been really great meetings. But the tendency is to have the meeting and for not much to happen after that until the next meeting. So I want to implore you, my friends, we have this moment and we can make something of it. We can move this forward. There's only one DPI and there'll only ever be one DPI. So let's bring it back together, like Henrietta said. And I would suggest that we look to the year 2022, the 30th anniversary of the conference that we looked at, as a time to have a global meeting of DPI. I don't care where that is. It could be in Tambo's backyard. I go. You know, it doesn't matter. We just need to come together. And with the technology that we have now, it levels the playing field. We can talk to each other very easily. So let's do that. Let's talk to one another and let's work together. Let's find the money and let's sit in a room together once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Other people would like to speak. Masami would like that Mrs. Midori Ilano, Chair of Japan, who would like to give some word. Please, go on.
Thank you very much for very educational and impressive speeches. I learned the history again from Mr. Ada Yesho's speech. And now I strongly impressed that we now, the DPI should be one in solidarity and make the, it's a very severe situation right now. Even the people without disabilities in the world I think it's the time we have to reorganize the DPI to overcome the severe situation with COVID-19. And as Stephen said, I think it's very important to make this situation, this conversation in the world, and often, more often, to make our activity in the one way, in the same way. So I think it's very important to move forward right now. Thank you.
Samuel. Samuel, yes.
Yes.
Samuel, please.
Samuel Kabwe. Thank you very much. I consider this a remarkable day to hear of the reunification of DPI. And we may not want to go very deep into the history of the fragmentation of DPI, because the fragmentation of the DPI, particularly of the leadership, has weakened our position as DPI greatly and has made it difficult for us to be recognized in various international fora. And we have seen competition in various places, which has not been healthy. When you are competing among yourself, it weakens us very much. So I want to hail this initiative of getting together once again. And I also would like us, the senator from Japan has recognized a number of people who have left us in the past since the establishment of DPI. But I would also have like us to recognize those who have left us more recently, like Javid Abidi and Rezo Kachanje. We all have been trying to work to see how we can be better in terms of serving persons with disabilities. And we couldn't have done that with the kind of a competition that we have had. The many structures that were, for instance, established here in Africa through the efforts of Joshua Malinga and Thabo Kamara here have no affiliation now to DPI. They don't see themselves as part of DPI because they don't even know which DPI to be affiliated to. We have seen 2 DPIs in Africa, 2 DPIs in Middle East, and so forth. So I would like to hail this initiative. And as Stephen Esty has said, it's good for us to be quick to regather ourselves and to form ourselves into what we ought to have been, and also re-establish our international relations with other like-minded organizations. Like for me, one of the most painful things was to, leave the membership of IDA. Now IDA is seen all over, we are not seen anywhere. So thank you very much, and I would like to thank those who have come up with initiatives. But as you said, you are going to make a declaration. Let's know how the declaration has come about to be and where it leads us to. Thank you very, very much. My name is Samuel Kabwe. I am from Kenya. I served for a short period as the DPI secretary in those days when we were getting fragmented, and I resigned because I found myself torn between 2 DPIs, and I tried to see how they could come together. It was not possible, so I resigned. I would like to see a stronger DPI from now henceforth. I have served in the CRPD committee for a term of 4 years and was this week re-elected to serve again for the second term. Thank you very, very much.
Please, Trevor, go on.
Thank you very much, Jean-Luc. Look, we've heard a lot about how our DPI started and how it grew into a wonderful organization. We've just heard some regret about the split between the two organizations, but believe me, DPI is well on the way to becoming reunited again. And in fact, the two organizations have reached an agreement about a number of things. Four of us, Jean-Luc, Mohammed, Miyamito, we've met at least 10, 15 times. I think I've lost count of it. But I just want to share with you now the statement of intent that we've managed to achieve in those meetings so far. Okay, so it's called the Statement of Unification. And it says, we, the respective chairs of DPI International, have great pleasure in announcing that unification of our great organization is underway. It is being led by a Unification Coordination Committee with nominated representatives from both boards. We have reached historic agreement and consensus on the following: a procedure for the unification of DPI, a statement of intent for DPI unification, a dispute resolution procedure. The unification of DPI is underpinned by the following principles: to work constructively and cooperatively towards our common goal of unifying DPI as a single organization to champion the rights of persons with disabilities throughout the world. Number two, to recognize a single constitution and an organizational structure for the continued and long-term operation of DPI. Number three, to preserve the common long-term national and international experiences and achievements of DPI since its foundation in 1981. Number four, to affirm the urgency and necessity to unite our efforts and to gather our resources to express the voice of our own in every part of the globe. Number five, to empower every National Assembly of DPI to assert their rights on behalf of persons with disabilities as stipulated in the UN CRPD and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Number six, to remove the barriers to full participation and inclusion of persons with disabilities wherever they live. Number seven, to hold UN member states accountable for their compliance with the UNCRPD, the Universal Declaration on Human Rights, and any other international treaty, convention, agreement, or agenda which impacts on the rights of persons with disabilities. Eight, to ensure the benefits of national and international reform and development programs in every field and reach all persons with disabilities. Number nine, to represent the members of DPI and advocate for the rights of all persons with disability at the UN, international and regional gatherings. And number 10, lastly, the last principle underlying the whole process of unification is to collaborate, cooperate, and build partnerships with key stakeholders, including organizations and persons with disabilities, regional and international development agencies. And this has been confirmed and signed off by both chairs as the statement of intention to unify DPI in the coming years. In fact, we hope to have this done, the unification complete in the first half of 2022. We're well on target for that. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Trevor. It's very encouraging. So we achieved this declaration. I'm very happy to have this conclusion and this new start for this strong organization that changes the life of so many people. We can conclude now this meeting on this hope for the future. And it's a window with a very beautiful light. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for what you are going to do in the next future. And I'm sure we are going to challenge that. I'm sure. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Good night. Good month.
Thank you, Jean-Luc. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Good morning.
Ciao.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
And thank you also for the captioning. Thank you. Steve said, asked me
Good
to.
evening, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Great work. Keep it going.
Thank you to everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody. And let us keep in touch with one another. We would like to see the roadmap towards the unification. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. It was
Thank
good
you
to
very
hear.
much. Thank you very much.
Thank
I am
to
very
see
happy.
you. To hear you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Dana. And it's time for us to work together. Now is the time.
Yes.
I am so happy
that
we had this meeting today.
Me too, Henrietta.
Thank you.
Really,
Bye. Goodbye.
very much.
Yes.
Let's keep in touch.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.